everybody. So it's Friday evening, really had nothing better to do. We've had storms all day, and I got some new mail, so I dug into it. Surprised to find that MDT had sent me the new vertical pistol grip, and this is it right here, still in the package. And had it open had a look at it. I was like, what the heck? So you actually have like several different pieces. You've got a shell, and then you've got this piece right here. And kudos to them, because what this actually allows you to do with this setup is fine-tune your spacing. It's a little hard to get together. Just a sec. All right, so you can see that's moving around in there. So there's slots cut in it, and you can see if I move that back and forth that plate, that bar inside, that mount system actually can move inside there, and that mount system is actually what attaches to the chassis. So what this is going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you to move it back and forth so that you can get that nice square finger. You can then have a bit better trigger pull than you can if you have a grip that's swept back underneath. Some grips are worse than others, but this should be interesting. I've sort of held back on running a system like this, so I'm curious to see what it's like. Reason I've held back is because I'm not just shooting precision rifles, I'm also shooting ARs and stuff too, and with those not having this, I didn't really want to go back and forth. But that said, there's advantages to it, so I think it's worth trying it out. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually take this apart, the MDT ES chassis, and we're going to pull the, well, we're not going to take the whole chassis and the rifle apart, we're going to just take the grip off here and kind of show you how that's done real quick, and see how we like it. I mean, nice feel to it. They chose a real good finish. I mean, really pretty ingenious system. Really impressed, actually. MDT's come out with some really good stuff now. If you didn't know, they've got match grade scope rings with the levels in them. They've got scope bases with 20 MOA and recoil lugs and everything. I'm gonna pick those up for my Tika. So anyway, let's get into this and see what it's like. So you have this super simple installation system here. Let's see if I can get that to focus. And that's really it. I mean, you can see how it goes on. Got our fresh bottle of blue Loctite. Our other stuff was probably 20 years old, so we finally went out and bought some new stuff, and happy with that. And we're going to use the Fix-It Sticks kit here. This is the torque limiter kit, and it has this nice T-wrench here, which makes reaching into grips and stuff quite easy to do. Probably got these a little too snug, so I'm just going to back these off a bit. One of the reasons I'm leaving them backed off is because I want to kind of get an idea of where I want that grip. I don't want it to be, if I'm too far back, it's not going to be any better than having this system right here. As you can see, that pushes my hand back, and right up in the front seems about the best. So I'll actually double check that's clear. So Try that. So there it is. That's the install. Super easy. We had a couple of kids come out and test it with us, and they'd never ever shot long range before. And it was interesting to see how their grip naturally fell onto that, and they actually took on a good trigger finger, you know, and good technique right off the bat. Whereas in the past, when I've had to explain it to students, I have to explain, you know, you've got to dance your fingers on your fingertips, or your fingertips on the front of the grip to get your grip forward far enough in order to line up your trigger finger properly. And in this case, I didn't have to. All three of these youth all made first round hits on 330 yards, and my son at 440 yards. And yeah, I gotta say, it's a nice, inexpensive but worthwhile upgrade to do. Scope turned out nice and level, went out and zeroed it again, and set it in some lower rings, and set it more closer towards where US Optics recommends, and that worked out just fine. I mean, very, very accurate piece of glass. I'm really sold on them. In fact, I already have a second scope that's waiting for the Air 10 to show up, and then we're gonna go out and start testing that too. And I wanted the best piece of glass that I could get, so that I was giving that rifle the best chance at proving its accuracy and stuff, as I'm sure it will. Will be interesting to see if there's a zero shift between the 308 and the 6.5 Creedmoor barrels, swapping between those. I'm hoping not, but even if there is, it's pretty easy to compensate for that. The AR-15 that I have from Lewis Machine & Tool, if you haven't seen that video, 1,240 yards on that little 16-inch barrel, and that thing is such a shooter. And that thing, that was after we torture tested that. I think it was like 300 or 400 rounds through it. Rapid fire, just mag after mag after mag after mag, as we were doing some destruction testing on a suppressor design. We have 3 new rifles that are going to be coming to us pretty quick hopefully in the next week or so. Lewis Machine & Tool, something big, shiny and black and new, and something totally custom and experimental. And hopefully those will all work out really well. We're going to be using the Dave Kiff bore rider for this one particular custom rifle with a Tikka Action heavy varmint barrel. And yeah, hopefully she shoots.